With this kit, you'll be making the pickleball charm. If this is your first time creating with us, we want to share a few tips to make this experience a great one. If you haven't yet, visit our techniques videos linked in the description below. For all you first-timers, we sent you some pipe cleaners in your kit specifically to practice with these videos and learn common techniques that will make your piece even better. Regardless of how many times you've done this, you have some extra pipe cleaners in your kit in case you make a mistake. That's completely normal and we've planned for it. The more time and attention you give to your piece, the better it will turn out. So take all the time you need, follow the steps, and above all, have fun learning and advancing in this new art form. Happy twisting! Grab a blue pipe cleaner and shape it to the template that came with your kit. You will want to fold it in half initially and start shaping from the bottom of the paddle. To shape the paddle, be sure to hold down the base of the handle and bend the appropriate places on the template, all without letting go of the paddle on the bottom. As you shape and bend, continue to pin down the part below the bend. This will help you keep your shape as you form the paddle. Once you have your shape, twist the ends together on the top to connect. Be sure to check your shape and adjust after connecting. Make this frame 2 times. To create the second frame, mold your new blue pipe cleaner to the frame you just made so it stays the same. We will need 2 paddle shapes to leave a clean look in the end. You will notice that you can more easily hold your shape with the first one built. Continue to ensure you're holding down the parts you have already shaped as you go. Connect this one like you did the first once it's in the right shape, wrapping each end around the top. Double check your size to ensure they are very close to the same. Let's make some braces to strengthen our paddle. Grab a new blue pipe cleaner and follow the lines on your template to see where to place the first brace. Connect onto one side of the frame, then the other, looping around with your pipe cleaner as shown. As you add these braces, be sure you aren't squeezing the frame. Keep your shape and carefully connect. Trim the excess and secure on the side. Make the second and third brace in the same way, checking for placement on the template. You can use the piece you just cut to make the next brace. To make the vertical brace shown on your template, cut a whole pipe cleaner in half. You will use 1/2 of the pipe cleaner for this. As you bend and cut a pipe cleaner, be sure to straighten out the hooked end so it doesn't poke you later. Now make a bend in the top and secure to the top center of the frame. You will loop around each horizontal brace as you come to it, going down to make this vertical brace. As you loop on, go back and forth with your loop. One time go right, the next left, and so on to even it out as shown. With your extra, wrap around the top of the handle at the place indicated on the template. You will wrap over and through the handle to create this band at the bottom of the paddle. After looping on twice, push the extra to the back through the handle and trim to secure. Now that you have this frame complete, do this a second time on the other frame you made. Do the same thing to create the braces for the second paddle. You can use the other half from the first vertical brace to make the second one. Let's fill them in. Grab one of the paddles and a new blue pipe cleaner to start at the top. Tie on and secure. Pull it to the opposite side and wrap on to secure. Then simply wrap the pipe cleaner around the edges of the frame all the way down the paddle. You are just laying it around as you go. Don't over tighten to keep your shape. When you come to the end of a pipe cleaner, tie on another to it as shown and continue wrapping. Make this connection tight so you can hide it well. Be sure you are keeping it tight together as you go. It might be easier to simply turn the paddle as you wrap. When you reach your small band you made at the bottom, weave in once on either side of the handle to secure the fill. trim the excess and secure. Repeat the fill on the other paddle exactly as you did the first. Now let's make the eyes. To do this, cut a full black pipe cleaner in half. Bend the edge down as shown and shape to the eyes at the bottom of the template. Weave the tail up through the middle of the eye. Then mash and shape the eye together so there are no gaps. Then you will have one eye done with a connection off the back. Trim the excess, still leaving a piece to connect later. Use the extra from the first eye to make the second one in the same way. Now you can check your size to your first eye to ensure symmetry. Choose one of your paddles to be the front. We will place the features on this one. Locate the placement for the first eye and push it through your fill to the back. Pinch the excess on the back down to secure. Place your second eye and connect in the same way. Push down in the back to secure. Be sure both connections are going down when you push them. This will leave room for the white parts of his eye to connect on top of it. Use an excess piece of black to shave off the fuzz. Be sure an adult helps you with this if you're not an adult, and be careful if you are an adult with this technique. You want to get as much fuzz off here as you can. Also, be sure to move your piece out of the working area to avoid the fuzz sticking to it as you shave it down. Shape your shaved black wire to the mouth on the bottom of the template as shown. Once you have the shape and size, fold back at the top to make the connection pieces. Line the mouth up directly under the eyes and leave a little space between. Then push your connections through to the back as you have been doing. If you have a lot of extra on the back, trim it, then fold down the connections to secure. Use about a finger length of white for this next part. Cut your pipe cleaner to size, and then cut this small piece in half. Push one of the pieces through the open area at the top of one of the eyes to the back. Move your white over to the edge of the back as you push through as you see here. Then fold up on the back to secure the piece. Feel free to adjust and shape this piece to how you want it to look. Now repeat what you did, including the shaping on the second eye. The reason for this is to give the illusion of light hitting its eyes in the same way for both. We're going to connect these paddles together now. Place the back of the paddle you were decorating to the other as shown. Now that they're lined up, we are going to stitch them together. Push through both paddles and secure to the end. Then begin sewing through both pieces around the paddle as shown. The end of your piece may get bent, causing difficulty pushing through. Simply straighten it out and continue sewing. Be sure you are pulling tight on this technique as you go to keep the whole piece looking clean. When you reach the top of the paddle, trim and secure. Don't continue sewing around. Grab a new pipe cleaner and sew on the other side as you did the first, starting at the same place as you did before, just on the other side. Once you reach the top again, trim and tie off like before. Now you have a clean back to your paddle. This is why we made two. Now you can put it on anything you want and you won't see the connections. Let's build the handle, starting with the bottom part first. Push a tan pipe cleaner through both pieces at the bottom of the handle as shown. Wrap over the small extra to lock it in. Wrap around under the connection to cover all the blue. You will be pinching this into a squared off shape as you go. Now wrap back around all the tan you just put on. Once you have it doubled up, pinch it together to give the base shape. Then trim the extra and secure into your wrap. Just under the tape line shown on the template, tie on to start wrapping the handle. You will want to keep this very tight as you go down. When you get to the bottom, trim and hide it inside. The base of your handle should be thicker than the handle itself. Now use some leftover white to make a tape transition strip. Tie on to the base of the paddle as shown here. Wrap around going down the handle tightly about 3 revolutions. Trim and hide the extra. Now let's make the ball. Shape the first frame to the template and connect like we did with the paddle. Then use your first ball as a template for the second one. A good technique to get a quick rounded shape is to pull the pipe cleaner between your fingers like you're curling a ribbon as shown. Trim the excess after connecting and secure. Check your sizes together on the template when you have both frames connected. Now let's make the braces you see on your template. Grab a full white pipe cleaner and connect to the center of one of your circles. Lay the piece on the template to be sure you're centering your braces as you see here. Once your piece is round and evenly divided, hold the point of connection and fold it over the edge, not tightly. Maintain your shape, and loop over the frame to secure on. Trim the excess and secure. To make the second brace, tie on like you did before in the center. When you come to the first brace you made, loop on over it like we did with the vertical brace on the paddle, then secure on the bottom of the circle. Check your piece on the template and trim off the excess. Repeat your brace building on the other circle. Be sure to use any longer excess piece to create as you go. When we fill it, here's what it's going to look like when we finish. Now let's make this fill. Run a white pipe cleaner between your fingers to give it a curve to start. Tie onto the center cross as shown on one brace. Then weave over, under, and through all the way around in a circle to fill. Again, you will go over the brace, under that same brace, and then back through the hole you made to secure the weave. Be sure to take your time at the beginning and don't pull too tightly to distort the shape. It will get easier as you move further out. You will notice one side will be flat and clean and the other you will see the braces. That's fine. The side with the braces will be inside and not seen in the end. When you get to the end of your pipe cleaner, just tie on a very small amount and attempt to hide it as best you can in the weave. As you reach the end of your fill, be sure you don't cross over the outside frame, but keep it inside that boundary and fill as tightly as possible. Tie off on the vertical brace, not on the outside of the frame when you're finished. Repeat this spiral fill for your second ball frame in the same way. Then you will have two. To make the holes on the ball, you will need to cut a gray pipe cleaner into eighths. That's 8 pieces. Fold over at the top of one of those pieces that you cut. Then go around it one time, leaving a piece on the back to connect. The tail in the back needs to be in the center of the oval you create. You will make 8 of these. If you have a longer stem on some, use those to connect onto the ball near the brace pieces, as this will help you get through the denser sections. Connect your first oval by one of the braces you will see at the back and fold connections over to secure. Check your template for placement and spacing. Place your next oval opposite the first at the bottom in the same way. The third should be on another of the braces and mirror that one on the opposite side with the fourth. This will get your spacing even. Now place each remaining oval between 2 that are already on. Use all the ovals and secure them on the back. Again, to make it easier, place the ovals opposite each other as you go. Let's make the mouth for the ball. Measure the size of the mouth on the template and cut just a little bit more than you need off of a black pipe. Now measure the thinner edge of the mouth on the template, about a ½ inch, and trim the fuzz carefully off the end. Again, you may need an adult to do this for you if you're a kiddo, and if you're adult, be careful. Do this on both ends. Your piece should look like this now. Grab a pink pipe cleaner and shape it to the tongue on the bottom of the U shape of the template. Now, fold over the left side to double up the U shape, letting the extra stick backwards for a connection later. Use the longer piece to fold back across the U shape, and you're going to push it through the gap you made when you folded it on the opposite side of the top of the U where you started, and then mold it to close any spaces. Trim the longer piece to match the other for connection. Make a slight bend in the center of the mouth as shown. You will want a very small part of the wire to show on the front, so bend just past the fuzzy part back on either side to make the mouth connections. Check your mouth on the template. For placement on the black part, it should be pretty in line with the two middle holes as shown here. Push your connections through your fill at the right place and bend over to secure in the back. To connect the tongue, go in the middle of the mouth, right under the black part. Push through the fill to the back with the connections and bend over to secure in place. Be sure to shape and make your pieces line up. This might take a couple of tries at placing. To make the eyes, cut a full pipe cleaner into fourths. Shape your eyes to the template. Be sure not to let it get too long. These should be small pieces. Mold to the template, checking often. After you find the length, simply bend back up the center and place the excess behind the eye for connection as shown. You are tucking the unconnected end into the eye. Make a second eye in the same way, but this time use your first eye as a template. Use your other 1/4 of a pipe cleaner you cut for this. Locate the right place. It will be in between the hole spaces on the top. Push each connection through to the back of the fill and check your placement. Your connections on the back will be too long. Be sure you trim them and then lock them in place. Again, push the extra down like we did with the paddle so you can finish the eyes. Use any extra white you have to cut about 1/2 inch off the pipe cleaner. You will need 2 of these pieces. Bend the very tip into a little hook or bump at one end of the white pipe cleaner. Push the non-bent end through the top of one of the eyes. When you pull through, your hook bend should stop the piece. Be sure it points up and to the right on the front. Trim the extra on the back and lock it in place. Repeat this process for your other eye, making sure it points in the same direction on the front. Now grab your second white ball and be sure the braces are pointing up, facing you. Connect to the very outside edge only with a new white pipe cleaner and sew it together as you did the paddle. To help, curl your pipe cleaner like we did with the spiral fill. You won't make it all the way around here. Be sure you just use a new piece to finish your connection and not extend this one. And you're done! Feel free to use the connection that came with your kit to put them together or leave them separate. You can use them on your keychain, on your backpack, your purse, or wherever you want to display it. Great job, and we want to see your work. Tag us on Instagram at Ascend Art Co. and make sure you subscribe to this channel for more tutorials and fun creations. Happy twisting!